Good morning. It's my privilege to be here with you at Titanium Europe 2019 in lovely Vienna. I'd like to spend the next 15 minutes or so sharing the trends that we see shaping demand for titanium as it relates to aerostructures. So of course, I'm obliged by our legal requirements to share this mandatory disclosure. And with that out of the way, let's look to the demand trends. So first, let's take a look at the macro picture. The large commercial aircraft market has never been so good, and we're seeing highs in several key areas. Just to put in context the magnitude of the growth itself, in 2003, Airbus and Boeing delivered just 586 aircraft. Last year, they delivered over 1,600 aircraft. Their absolute backlog, as Henry spoke about just a minute ago, represents about 8 years of production, right around 13,000 units, based on 2018 delivery rates. However, despite all of the momentum in large commercial aircraft deliveries, we must acknowledge the pressure on build rates for 2019. There are still some supplier challenges that OEMs are working through. Certainly, the 737 MAX issue will have an impact on previously stated delivery rates. So shifting from deliveries to orders, the near-term outlook is supported by years of strong orders. After declines in 2015 and 2016, 2017 saw a resurgence of orders. The 2018 order book came down a bit for Boeing and Airbus. However, there's little concern as the industry still has 8 years of order coverage. So 2018 was still a very strong year, recording a book-to-bill greater than 1. It should be noted that a majority of those orders, in fact, 82% of total 2018 net orders were for single aisle. Let's shift to the long term. So the long-term outlook is also strong. Forecasts project a need for more than 42,000 new aircraft over the next 20 years. Single aisles make up the majority of that, accounting for 73% of deliveries and 55% of the market value. By 2037, we're looking at a fleet of more than 48,000 aircraft with a value of more than $6 trillion. This fact is important because the fleet will be approximately 2 times what it is today. This is a huge increase for those servicing the aftermarket. So what is underpinning the industry's robust forecasts? The answer, of course, is people, a lot of people, with the desire and means to fly. In 2018, passenger demand growth was 6.7%, with load factors above 80%. And in record territory, this was another year of above-trend passenger growth, well ahead of the 10-year average pace of 5.5%. Air traffic demand is expected to double every 15 years. And much of that growth is coming from emerging countries. By 2037, 85% of emerging country populations will fly. That's up from 30% in 2017. So industry growth drivers are certainly strong, and the long-term outlook is positive. But we should be keeping a watchful eye because the trends suggest a slight softening ahead. For example, world GDP and annual passenger demand have eased in the first quarter of 2019. Let's talk about some of the influencers on the industry growth drivers themselves. So as the Global Director of Procurement for Structures, my team and I keep a close eye on inflationary pressures and market indicators, and there's no mistaking that fuel prices are rising. However, they're still considered to be in a sweet spot. They are high enough to encourage airlines to purchase more fuel-efficient models, but not so high that airlines are significantly raising ticket prices that would discourage air travel. So of course, airlines must be able to pay for the aircraft that they've just ordered, and the outlook here is strong also. While higher fuel prices do take a toll on profitability, passenger growth is helping to offset that. Projected profitability for 2019 is nearly $34 billion, the fourth highest on record. So the trend continues to support airline investment in newer, more fuel-efficient models. We focused a lot on the commercial market, but I did want to take a quick moment to point out some of the strength on the defense side as well. Fighter aircraft budgets are rising, and they are expected to see continued growth over the next several years. The increase is dominated by JSF, of course, which is slated to hit 160 production units. And while the JSF is clearly a huge factor to the success in this market, it isn't the only program showing strength. Boeing, too, is experiencing growth on the F-15, not just in foreign military sales, but domestically as well. The latest U.S. Air Force budget increased requests for the F-15, which hasn't been purchased domestically in over a decade. So what does all of this growth mean for titanium? The outlook for titanium is bright. The latest data continues to project that titanium will grow the fastest amongst aerospace metals through 2023. The growth is driven in part by the use of composites, thanks to the material's compatible properties. And as such, titanium is growing at near the same pace as composites. So overall, raw material demand growth will be lower than aircraft unit growth because the industry is becoming more efficient with lower buy-to-fly ratios. So the good news is that demand remains strong. The constraint is not the market. The current constraint is the supply chain. As an industry, we've shifted from a design era to an era of delivery. And the main question now is, how do we profitably deliver the backlog? We've been living through a time of exceptional growth and unprecedented ramp-up of new programs. The focus now should be on continuous execution at these elevated rates. All new programs have teething issues. We're certainly seeing a significant one right now with the 737 MAX. With manufacturing and productivity concerns top of mind, the industry is feeling increased pressure to reduce costs and improve efficiency. Additionally, we've entered a period where battle lines are being redrawn. Airbus and Bombardier versus Boeing and Embraer. M&A activity across the sector is picking up speed, and insourcing decisions are quickly becoming the norm. So while the constraint is the supply chain, we are seeing improvement. We are seeing discipline from the OEMs to protect the long-term rate outlook. How can the titanium industry meet these challenges and help profitably deliver the backlog? Vertical integration is key to simplifying the supply chain and delivering value to customers. You can see here an illustration of how Arconic delivers complete, lightweight, multi-material solutions from raw material to finished part. Innovation continues to be critical to driving growth in titanium. We must relentlessly seek product and process innovations that solve our customers' challenges and help us profitably deliver. The opportunities are there. The challenge is for us to identify them and respond with material and process innovations that further reduce weight and cost, that push material properties, and that enable new shapes and applications. I'll give you an example. The next-gen engines are running hotter and pose a challenge for the adjacent structure. Arconic saw an opportunity to exploit the material science of titanium to achieve greater elevated temperature capabilities and oxidation performance. The result is Arconic Thor, a higher temp titanium alloy that is 50% lighter than incumbent nickel superalloys, and takes titanium places it couldn't go before. Or consider the holy grail of material efficiency, what most refer to as the buy-to-fly ratio. To enable a broader and deeper application of titanium, we must continue to focus on innovative near-net or net-shape manufacturing processes. Arconic has developed a proprietary process called AmpliForge, which combines our process and product expertise in materials and forging to develop a lower cost and faster titanium forging option. The Arconic AmpliForge process represents a hybrid approach of additive and traditional manufacturing methods. Titanium 6-4 preforms are built using electron beam additive manufacturing with a single step to finish forge. The AmpliForge process reduces tooling costs and die wear, input material, and processing time while meeting all the forging requirements, including strength, toughness, fatigue, and ultrasonic inspection. So these are examples of how innovation can drive titanium growth. In summary, the market fundamentals are strong. Titanium continues to grow in aerospace applications. Process and product innovation are the keys to taking titanium even higher. Thank you.